believe, are we on? I believe that we have a light agenda.
Oh, the lights came?
What?
I said, oh, the lights came?
The lights haven't come in yet. Are they? They said it's delayed again
No, it's coming this week.
this week. Okay,
Supposed to be
that's great.
yesterday, wasn't it?
I haven't spoken to Mr. Massaro, but it should be this week.
Okay, so
And then
hopefully
once
we
they
can-
deliver it, they have a 8 people crew that they're going to come and install everything. I've
Anchor?
asked them. Yes. I have asked them to let us know, so we send out a notification letting people know that the street will be closed.
Right. So I think we did sign the contract um, with the company.
Anchor?
Anchor?
No, not Anchor. The notification company.
Yes, yes, it's up and running.
It's up and running. So hopefully we can send. Do
Any
people have to
advantage?
The
register?
flyers will be going up on the website by the end of this week. We're going to have a sign-up sheet that people can go and sign up. I would suggest they do not sign up as guests. They should sign up as actual managing their own accounts
With the
because
password.
with the password, because like this they allow them to add or subtract type of notification that they're going to receive. If they would like to do it already, they can text VGN for Village of Great Neck to, just give me one moment, 99411. If they text VGN, it doesn't matter if it's a combination or all upper, um, you know, or
And then what
lowercase.
happens if you text that?
You will receive a
Text message.
text message with a link that you could click on and to enroll.
So you text message
Yeah,
VGN and what is the
VGN to 99411.
914
99411.
99411?
And then you'll receive a text to go to the page and sign up. As I mentioned again,
here it is.
I would, yes, that's what it is. That's our
Oh, great.
village.
It's really
Yep.
easy.
And the flyers, we are going to stuff them in the same envelope as the tax receipts. So you're saving on sending out 2 sets of mails like that. Um, as I mentioned, it will go on the website by the end of the week as well. The notifications also will be in Spanish and Chinese if some residents decide to receive them in Spanish or Chinese.
Okay. So again, I think you should put nine. You should text 99411.
No, they should text,
VGN.
VGN to 99411.
correct.
So
VGN 2?
no,
Just VGN.
VGN.
It doesn't matter if it's an uppercase or a lowercase or a combination of both.
And then do you have to send a message?
No,
or-
you
Yeah,
text
text it.
to 99411
So you text
VGN.
VGN to.
No, no, take the VGN off. So just 99411.
That's the contact.
That's the contact, and you put in the message that you're sending, you put VGN.
Yep.
Just right, VGN
GN.
to 99411, and then the whole thing comes.
The text messages you will get also from a 5-digit number. The phone calls will be coming from a 800 number. So
Um,
once you sign up, they will tell you the numbers that is assigned to the village, so you could add them to your phone book so they are not considered to be a spam. You don't categorize them as a spam.
VGN.
VGN like Village of Great Neck.
My thumb is keep.
so you should say no. You shouldn't say no. Continue to enroll as a guest. You should just continue. So
Continue,
don't
right,
click no. Just continue doing that.
right.
And then
That will give
say-
you the, because if you continue as a guest, it's like a one-way street. Then if you want to remove yourself, you have to let us know, and then we have to let the company know to remove the number. We don't own the numbers. Everything is owned by the company, so we have to ask them to remove the number from it. However, if they sign up as a manager of their own account, they can always, turn the notification off or on, or the method of notification that they would like to receive. For example, they could receive it only through email, or they could receive it only through a voicemail, or only through text, or all of the above. And also there are types of notification that we'll be sending out. Some of them could be related to tax. Some of them could be related to weather. Some of them
It
could be
says tornado, severe thunder,
correct.
flash flood,
Yep.
and winter storm, tsunamis.
And we are going to be creating for also, for example,
Earthquake.
No, street closure, taxes, um, events. Those we are by the end of the week should be up and running.
Okay, so I think that's the phone number. And can you add? It says add phone.
You could
Can-
add up to 4 numbers.
So you can add your spouse, children.
You could spouse, children, but
Or they can
One
start
phone
their own.
number listed, whether it's
they
home
could
or
they could
cell.
start their own as well. You could add 4 numbers, so you could add your home number, work number, and the cell phone, for example.
It's easier, they say, if you put the provider, right, Abraham?
If you cannot find your provider, you could just put other. But if it's better if you
Usually
could find.
whatever it is, you either have Verizon, T-Mobile,
You should
whatever.
Right.
see the list, Mayor.
Right, the list is pretty
I
long.
know,
There
but
it says
in
AT&T
this area,
Mobility, it doesn't say AT&T.
I think it's the same thing.
Add
If you
location.
can't find it, just say other.
I just put AT&T Mobility.
what is it with the add location?
Oh, location. Sometimes when we push notifications, we could push them based on your proximity to a certain point. So, for example, we say, do not approach Middle Neck Road within a 200 feet. We can actually send notification only to people who are within 200 feet of Middle Neck Road. So if you add your location or your house location, you will get only certain messages. So, for example, people who are in a flood zone, if they add it, then we could say within half a mile of the flood zone, people should avoid that area. Only people who are in that specific location will get that notification.
Gene, you still don't want to get a smartphone?
What are you going to do if there's a tsunami?
Let me see.
It says they alert you for tsunamis. That's what I said.
Add lo-
Second floor? Third floor?
Okay, and that's it. Okay, verify information done. Okay, so it doesn't take long. I encourage everybody to enroll. Um, okay, do we have any? Let's start the. I don't know. My computer is shutting down every 5 seconds.
The first item on the agenda is the Nassau County Police Department June 2022 report.
It's about average.
Majority of them are, again, Middle Neck Road intersections, and unfortunately we had one accident at Forest and Hicks again.
Boston Hicks and also Hampshire
Hampshire and Baker.
and Baker is,
Another one?
no, that's the one. That's the one that
No,
shows.
Hampshire and Baker, or is that
Hampshire and Baker is
Hickson?
the one that Stevens saw.
Right. I
Two
guess,
two injuries.
listen, we never said
Two
it's going
reported
to.
injuries.
We never said it's going to completely stop accidents, but.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Hicks and Hampshire was following too closely. It wasn't an intersection.
Oh, yeah.
accident. So somebody was on their cell phone.
Please talk about this.
The accident at Hicks in Hampshire. The accident at Hicks. Wait, where is it? Yeah, the accident at Hicks in Hampshire was not an intersection accident per se. It was a hit and a rear. They're following too closely. So it's not related to. It's probably related to somebody actually stopping properly and somebody following behind them on their phone.
That's what happened to me.
You what?
That's how somebody rear-ended my car 2 months
That's
ago.
how it happens.
Yep.
Abraham, can we have some more air?
Of course. He got a little too cold.
There's no such thing. It's too cold. Oh, you like heat? Oh, I think I heard that.
Verizon Wireless.
I love the summer. I hate the cold. Better, yes. Whatever, but you know what? Love it.
Mobile
Beach
provider
every
is
day.
required.
If I could, every day, literally every
Not
next,
average.
the next item is the public hearing at, regarding section A 583-28 of the Village Code. This is regarding the parking permits.
Is there a motion to open up the public hearing?
So
Moved by trustee Cashy, seconded by the deputy mayor. All those in favor?
Aye.
The public hearing is now open. Mayor, this is actually a local law increasing fees for parking permits. The fees have essentially been doubled. The fee is currently
$15 per month.
a $15 fee has gone to 30. A $20 fee has gone to 40. Each of the fees, let's see, for employee parking, for daytime parking, it's currently $45 per calendar quarter, and 35 if issued during the second month, 20 if issued during the third month, and each of these fees has been doubled. So if your board is satisfied with the fees, as you now see them under...
Right, so I think the reason we did this because we haven't increased the fees and we are now just becoming on par with other.
Well, we're not becoming on par. For example, I called Village of Great Neck Plaza. They charge $90 per quarter, which is, we will make it, like, we will match them. And then Village of Great Neck Estate, they have a resident permit, they charge $75 per month, and for a merchant permit, they charge $60 per month. So even with the increase, we'll be still less than that.
So we're on par with Plaza, but still lower than
Estate, correct.
Added to the section is the material regarding a $90 per quarter, and also for, oh, I see, that's
That is just an example. There's no
informational.
right.
Okay,
Right.
that's
Sorry
not
about
actually
that.
part of the local law. You see that at the bottom of paragraph
Right,
C.
there is no space between that. I'm sorry about that. This would be the text of the. Sorry about that. Yeah, the last, as Mr. B
The end
mentioned.
of the local law is actually the total of $40. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. If any board member has any question or comment to make about the local law, otherwise we will open it up to the public.
I just, I mean, I understand that our fees were way below what they probably should be, but I'm just wondering if this is a good time to raise employees, the fees for employees. I'm sure the guys women and gentlemen who work in these stores aren't making a lot of money.
How many people actually use the permit? How many permits are issued?
Well, it depends on which lot we're talking about. For example, the lot next to the Colony Pharmacy is almost full.
Yeah, it's just one.
The behind Everfresh is fully booked. Across the street from Everfresh, that one is about half full.
You mean the CVS?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The one next to the DPW, across the street from Steamboat,
Yeah.
not by the side of the new Village Hall, across the street from it, it's underused. The one behind 770 Middle Neck Road, which will be the site of the new Village Hall, it's underused. It's only half of it,
And
maybe as
how
well.
about lot 1, Beach Road?
Beach Road, it depends which part, the north side or the
The south?
by it. It's almost full. Is that correct?
It's almost full, yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
In the south side?
Not really. There's spots.
Overall, there's about 100 permits issued per quarter.
I believe a little more than that.
Per year.
And what's the percentage of residential versus commercial?
Or at least in the 100.
Yeah.
Residentials can park from 7 p.m. through 7 a.m.
Did it for the year.
and that's the overnight parking we call them. They have to provide us with a proof that they live in an apartment. We have a policy, we do not issue it for houses, because houses are required to have their own parking. They have to show a lease or a month-to-month agreement, so we issue them the overnight parking. For the employee parking, it's 8 a.m. through 7 p.m. It has to be, an application has to be filed, and it has to be signed by the employer that the person is working for that employer.
So your question is mostly for the employees?
And majority of I'm sorry to interrupt
Right.
you, Mayor. Majority of the employees' fees are paid by their bosses, by the employers. Correct. And-
Again, you know, some are successful, some struggle, so I don't know.
But I just wonder what's the number? I mean, we're talking about how many, and we're going from.
He wants you to microphone.
It is the
Make it
microphone's
louder,
on.
man.
The fees that they pay is now $15 per quarter. A month.
I know it's very low. I know,
The way it is set up, Mayor, is that
It's 50 cents a day. I mean,
if they park every day, it's most, yeah.
you know, if you go anywhere and just
Yeah,
put
no,
a,
it makes sense. Listen, it's.
I hear you, but it's just, you know, it's not a,
Right.
because if not, in 10 years you have to go up quadruple. So it's just not the right thing to do.
$5 a day at the station.
What is it?
$5 a day at the station.
Right. So
But that's for
it's-
people, commuters. Yeah.
Right. But I don't think it's a big jump.
People are
I
commuting and
think-
making a lot more money than people who work in the stores, but, yeah.
Yes. Listen, you know, I think anytime you increase anything, you have to be mindful, and I think it's the right questions to
Yeah,
ask.
yeah.
But at the same time, I think at one point it gets, you know.
No, it's out of line right now. I
Yeah,
do
it's-
accept that the fees are not commensurate with what any other place probably in the
Right.
state is charging.
Right.
50 cents a day is pretty good.
Yeah. 2 quarters.
It's the price from 19 probably 60s. Okay. All right. So, anybody in the public would like to make a comment? Yes.
There's Linziger, 15 Beach Road. I have some questions. In researching this, when is the last time that fees were raised? It's 2022. Do we know the last
2008.
time the fees were adjusted?
2008.
Come again?
2008.
Thank you. Another question that I have is, we do have a problem, and we often hear it here, about employees parking not in the village lots, but on village streets, such as on Fairview, West Park Place, even sometimes on Berkshire, because people have come in here to complain about that. So what I wonder is, if you raise the fees, might that cause the problem to get worse? Now, if you're saying that the employers are accounting for it, then it probably doesn't matter. But I hope you understand what I'm saying, that this might cause this problem to get worse.
Can I answer?
You
Yeah,
can
sure.
answer this.
If the employee gets one ticket,
Yes.
that is a $50 for parking overtime in an area that they should not have parked if they overparked. It is well worth it to spend the $30 per month and have a legal spot rather to avoid paying $30 and risk getting a $50 ticket.
Well, no argument with me, and it makes perfect sense. What is parking enforcement telling you in terms of, you know, the tickets that are being given out exactly for these situations that I mentioned? Is there a large number every day, or is it very few?
It is not. When there is a persistent issue, for example, we had this issue with some of the electricians that are working on the building that is currently under construction next to Everfresh. We tried to work with them to park their vans across the street. After getting 3 tickets in a row, they agreed that they should park in the lot across the street. So it adds up. If there's a persistent issue, it's usually brought up to the attention of somebody from the front office rather than just keeping it to the court, and we deal with it that way.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public? Hearing none, is there a motion to close the public hearing? Moved by the mayor, seconded by trustee Hope. All in favor?
Aye.
The public hearing is unanimously closed. At this time, if the board so desires, a motion can be made to adopt the local law. Is there a motion to adopt? Moved by trustee Kashi, seconded by trustee Hope. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. The local law is passed.
Okay.
The next item is a request by Superintendent Massaro to attend to to attend the NICOM Public Work Training School to be held October 3rd through October 5th at Lake George. Mr. Massaro is requesting for himself and Deputy Superintendent Newbert to attend. The total cost will be $839 per attendee.
What is this for again?
This is for a Department of Public Work Training School administered by NICOM. Just like NICOM provides for the elected officials and clerks and treasurers, they also provide such a school for DPW workers.
It's actually, it's a pretty good thing, because they learn all kinds of things up there that could actually save the village a lot of money. Much more than what this would cost.
Okay.
So,
Do they both have to go, or also?
well, if one's not here, the other one's here. So.
They're both not here.
Uh,
Both wanna go.
No, I meant if somebody's out sick or so, if the deputy has to take over, I don't see it.
Who's the third one in charge?
I don't know. Barrett.
Barry?
Is there a motion to approve? Moved by Trustee Hope, seconded by the Deputy Mayor. All in favor?
Aye.
Is that unanimous?
The next item are 3 proposals for audiovisual and security consultant related to the new Village Hall. You have in front of you 3 proposals. The first one is from Secure Vision, the second one is from JDAV, and the third one is from Audio Command. As you can see, this is from the Secure Vision. They do provide services for security. This also includes the video surveillance and access control. These are the controls for the doors and the key fobs. They do structured cabling as well as a audiovisual. Audiovisual would be, for example, the microphones and as well as the cameras for the conference rooms, courtrooms, and the common areas. Their proposal has 3 different portions. The security, they are proposing $5,000. Cabling is $5,000, and the audiovisual system is $10,000 for a grand total of $20,000. The second proposal is from JDAV Design, or JDAV. They also provide all the 3 areas that I just mentioned. What they are proposing is $3,970 for design implementation. Design development, $9,230 for a documentation, and they do not give any final number, but just to add the 2 is the $13,000 that they're charging, $13,200.
I'm sorry, the first one
14,200.
Yes, the first one was a total of 10,000, and then there was-
20,000.
It
No,
was
no, and
5,
then-
5, and 10.
And then, so that,
So this doesn't include equipment or,
None of them include equipments because every equipment has to be bidded.
separately.
This is design only, not the hardware or the installation.
would they do the installation, or someone else does the installation?
I believe they do.
They do it.
They do the installation, but it does not include the
Well,
equipment.
the
the
design
first
they're
proposal had a construction
Component.
option, but it's for additional fees that I don't see listed. And one of them expressly said that they can coordinate the contractors for installation, but it doesn't say they would do the installation. Because again, I think as you pointed out, that would be a separate biddable item, assuming that it met the threshold of dollar amounts, it would have to be bid, the equipment and its installation.
This bidding is going to cost us a lot of time and effort and money.
Are they all apples to apples? Let's look at the last
The
one.
last one is from Audio Command System. This one does not include security. They are proposing $4,800 for design and engineering, $8,000 for architectural detailed drawings, and 2,100 for the project management.
What is this missing?
Security. Security includes cameras from outside of the
Mhm.
building and the key fobs and access.
But the
Did
other
we ask
two-
them to include that in this, and they didn't?
When we met with them, I did ask them that it should include everything, but they did not.
Should we adjourn this and
Sure.
try to get better
Apples to apples.
apples to apples and also
Installation?
complete picture here.
Sure.
I think we need,
Right now,
I don't think
we
we
don't
should-
know what we're bidding on. I mean,
but I think we need to do the entire visual. They need to
Of
do
course,
all
you
the
want
stuff that we do
everything.
and the security, because I think it's very difficult. Do they all have visual and security, or they just security?
No, only the first two. The last one does not include
So
security.
that doesn't, I mean, I don't even know how I can work with just security. It doesn't have security, or it's only security,
No,
the
it
last one?
doesn't have.
The
to.
first two has
Okay.
security and AV. The last one does not include security.
But again, these are design only, not installation, which would
Right.
have to be bid.
And we can't just go on the prices here because we have no idea really
But this
what-
is only design.
I
It's
know.
like, right. I mean, what would you want to know more? They have to design it according to what we like,
Right.
right? It's not like they're going to design it without our
They were,
input.
they were provided with the plans by the architect, and these numbers are based on what they saw and how many doors that we have that require key fobs, as well as the interview that I had with them, telling them what we need for the audiovisual. So for example, there will be in front of every trustee, there will be a glass, and then under it, it will be a screen, as well as a two screen in the courtroom that just like we have here.
Right.
Oh, they're
And
facing out.
facing out, and then one behind. I don't know why he suggested that one behind the dais.
No, it should probably
I don't
be
think we
in
need
front of the dais.
Well, this is to make
Looking-
what we're speaking
yeah.
larger because we have quite a large.
No, I
courtroom.
understand. The two should be for the dais, the way I've seen it.
Correct.
And then there's one facing the dais.
The dais that
So
we
that the
can see.
trustees can address the, right? It's a
Right.
little bit-
No, because I think what he's saying, everything's going to be seen here, so you don't have to look at it
I know, it's just a better,
better. All right.
Sometimes
Interface.
it's better to look at it on a screen.
Regardless, I think those things are going to be decided with our input. They're not going to just make a decision without.
Correct.
It's the same thing as engineer. Okay.
This is based on, again, just the plans that they have seen. They haven't designed anything yet.
All right, so the first one was 20,000 for the design, second one was 16.
14.
Well, it was
14.
design and security. And
Right.
I think it's 13,000.
No, design was,
now it's at
Look at the numbers
14
again.
too.
it was 13 something. It's 13.6.
14 too.
It's at 4,000 and a 9,000. That's 13.
Now, look at the hundreds section.
Okay. 14,000, and the last one is 15,000.
Okay.
16 what?
16.
No, no,
listen, it doesn't
that
matter
includes
really.
tax, so I
20
I
Oh,
that
oh, I
removes
see.
The
tax.
first one is 20, the second one is 14.
Okay.
Just for the design.
All three have worked with our architect. They do not have any preference. However, the first one, they said that they always do a very good job. The most expensive one.
Okay. Do you want to table this, or you want to just?
Okay.
Do you want to table it? Do they? But I want to know if that tabling it is going to
Well,
cause
what- I
significant
mean-
delay.
It has waited. It can wait another 2 weeks,
Well,
Mayor.
Yeah.
It's waited so long.
Give us a chance to read every
That's
single
fine.
thing.
Excuse me, can I ask a question?
Yes.
I see in there, they said travel expenses, where are they traveling from?
That is usually normal to put it there. So, for example, if we request them to, not something that is already proposed. Let's say they design it and we tell them, no, you're going to come to the site. They start charging for the travel. If it's something that is unforeseen, they usually charge for travel. We have the same thing with our architect. We have the same thing with our engineers as well. Engineers, just the village engineer.
I don't think they're coming from very far, but
No, they might come from Hicksville or wherever it might be.
There's Westbury here, but
Westbury.
they've got travel expenses.
But that
and
takes time.
food. Why do we have to feed them?
oh jeez. Because we're spending enough money. I don't think that $5 they buy McDonald's is going to break the bank.
I think we should put a cap on it.
Okay, we'll take that into consideration as well. In 2 weeks when we vote on it.
Okay. The next item, the last item on the new business, is a proposal to fix the light Well, it's a broken wire actually that it's, it crosses from 2 Henry to 4 Henry. If you just let me just to pull this up.
When they fix these, and we have a bunch of these, are they actually put in a conduit, or do you just drop another wire?
They put a conduit.
They put a conduit. 'Cause that was skips.
So as you could see, there's a new cable and a conduit needed due to the new driveway. So as you could see in the
Wait,
picture
so-
here.
So you're saying it was under a personal, so a private residence?
So if you could look at here, we have number 2 and number 4.
Yeah.
The wire that goes from Henry to Stewart feeds the same both Henry and Stewart.
Okay,
Now for Henry, which is a corner of Stewart and Henry,
right.
they were doing a driveway and they damaged the wire. Okay, it cost the village $750 to get the electrician there to find out where the actual wire broke.
Right.
They found out where the wire broke. The actual cost of fixing it is $2,800 now. It was caused by changing the driveway. We have the liability for the construction company, and I intend to go after them to pay for it.
Oh, okay.
They didn't call, what was it, 811?
Well, they don't need to call 811 for a driveway. They had a permission and they had the permit to do the driveway. What they did is they dug, and instead of just leaving the wires, they cut all the wires out.
Isn't that an 811 issue?
What's the-
811 usually works for gas and
Oh,
water.
I thought wires too, okay. Especially because homeowners used to electrocute themselves.
So the
Sadly.
wire that goes and feeds the lights was traveling under somebody's driveway?
Yes, so the
How many feet
driveway, I don't know. The driveway,
And did
How
we
much?
have a right of way over the driveway?
correct.
The deep
That's
6
what I
inches?
just saying.
6 inches, the wires that are in the street are 6 inches deep? And then when we require people to do it, we require them to be 3 feet deep?
So,
This wasn't in the street.
I'm just surprised they dug so deeply in the driveway.
6 inches.
6 inches.
6 inches much?
No, but for a driveway?
Yeah,
They never-
to-
Annie,
Yeah,
Annie,
to
when
pour-
they did my driveway, they come with the thing,
No,
and
I-
just to
they did
lift up the
mine.
slab alone is,
It, you have to realize
5
it's
inches.
4 inches of 4 or 5 inches of slab, and then they have 2, 3 inches of whatever they
Yeah.
put on there.
We-
So
we
6,
had
7
ours
inches.
They have the
done, it
underlayment.
didn't look like that much.
Jeez. Oh, oh.
You don't think so?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are you gonna pay?
I just want to mention that the reason that they were doing the driveway, this was in the village right of way. So it's not that we are actually using the private property.
No, I understand.
The
Still,
wires
It was in
run,
our
I don't know
pro- it
who
was on
the
our
guy-
property.
right,
They see a wire going this way, they just decide to cut it?
yes.
That's very nice.
They decided to cut it, or they accidentally cut it?
Well,
It was
I-
probably cut on both sides and removed.
I don't know, but as you could see here on the picture, it just, on,
Do they have to
Number
redo their
2.
driveway to redo this
no,
wire?
no, it's going to be a missile under it. As you could see on the there is power on number 2, Henry, but there is no power on number 4. And the new driveway is a new fighter for number 4.
When you say missile under, they're guiding it through?
Correct.
They send the missile.
Isn't
They
that
bring-
interesting
they
that,
bring the,
that
Hezbollah.
two even-numbered houses are across the street from each other? Oh, that's the
No,
driveway.
that's a
Never mind, it's the
driveway, that's a
okay.
driveway. This
They-
is
they
a better,
bring the
if you want to look at it,
militants.
this
Yeah, I
is
see it,
number
okay.
4. This is number 2, I don't know, maybe I can get it from
Right.
this
You
way.
provided it on the other.
There
I
you
see
go,
it, I
as you
see
could
it.
see the driveway from here right now. And that caused the entire Stewart also to lose power, sadly.
So that's
And we're getting a lot
That
of,
was a big wire.
Just the street lights, they lost power.
yes.
How, is it a cable? I just
Romex.
want to know how big, how,
This was put,
have you seen them?
Is it a
probably
Romex?
use- How big are they?
What size wire?
What size wire?
Half inch, 3/4 inch. But they are alive. There is light on it. If you touch, it's gonna kill you.
Obviously he didn't. Or maybe we didn't hear.
the contractor has pictures that shows that they rolled the wire actually to the side. They cut it and said, what is this wire doing? They just cut it.
That is the cat.
Very nice. Okay. You see, that's how people die in the operating room.
What do you mean?
You cut the wrong vessel, you try and put it in the front.
Roll it up.
Roll it up.
What
I
is
don't,
this
I don't know what
artery
this
doing
is.
here?
This is an apparent one. Just put it to the side. Okay.
Is there a motion to approve the proposal as presented?
So
2008.
It's 2,840, and then we're going to go after the insurance company.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to do it anyway, so let's. But we're not waiting for them to respond. We're doing it first.
Yes.
Yes, this
Okay.
has been a long
Yeah,
time.
no, if we should do it first, I agree that we should do it first. I think, and then we go after. Okay.
It was moved by Deputy Mayor and seconded by Trustee Hope. All in favor, please signify by
Aye.
saying aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Next item is minutes of July 19 meeting.
That's some material from the local law.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, so in the beginning, I just want to say that there is something I also mentioned. I know that I don't want us to come back and people say why, but there is going to be a sister city with a city in Morocco that I mentioned. It's not in there. So, I mean, I don't want someone to come and say why we didn't talk about it when we
There.
did.
It is not there.
I mean anyone. I mean, it could be anyone else.
So we could,
You
we could
can
You can
amend
add
it.
it. We
You
can add it to
approve
today.
the
We can
minutes
amend it.
subject to that amendment.
Or you can just add it, to today's meeting if you like.
Mayor, I thought you
No, it's-
don't want it to be there, or would you like it to be there?
No, put it there. I think it should be there because we discussed it. So just put
So
it
we
there
could
because
approve
it's
the
going to
minutes
be.
subject to the addition of,
Okay.
Right.
I'll move that.
Yeah.
Minutes have been moved. Is there a second? Trustee Hope, all in favor? So the minutes are approved, subject to the addition of that amendment.
Okay, great. So that has not been done yet. It's just we're proposing it to happen on September 13. No, you don't have to, but it's just going to be. Yeah, of course. Oh, this is going to be on my expense, not the village's expense, for people who want to question. Okay.
The next item is the abstract for this Friday, August 5th.
So I just had a question. What does the Sonic Wall software do?
Sonic Wall is our firewall that we have, so intruders cannot get into our IT system. And we bought this 3 years ago, and it comes with a 3-year warranty. Given
So
that
then-
we'll still be here at least for another 2 years, the IT consultant asked that we should extend it at least for another 3 years. I asked them for if it is still good, the system is still functional. They said it's a very good, up-to-date system. There is no requirement to buy a new firewall system for the IT. However, they strongly recommended that we get the warranty. It comes out to be less than $300 a year, or about $330 a year.
Okay, I have no other questions. I'll make a motion to accept the abstract.
You have or you don't have?
I have no other
Oh,
questions.
thank you. It's moved by Trustee Mendelson and seconded by Trustee Hope. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Regarding your question of the number of the permits that were issued, Maria's going to give an update on that.
Still on? I'm sure it's on first. It's on.
It is on.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so regarding employee parking, do you want the total number of spots that we have, total total taken and total available? Do you want it by lot? How do you want it?
I think it's good to know by lot also, just to see how people are, utilizing the parking. And also, what's the percentage of it, what's the percentage being used at night, and what's the percentage being used during
I
the
have
day?
both in.
Right.
Okay, so total for employees first, lot
Yeah.
1N, total spots are 30, 16 were taken, and 14 are still available.
That's for what? That's for,
Lot 1N, sorry.
which is, no,
You
we're
have
talking
to
about,
guess.
no, we're talking for residential,
This is for employee.
for
This is
employees, so we're talking
yes.
employees, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Ask Abraham where the location is, please.
So 30, what is this? This is the, okay, so we're talking about which lot now? 1N? I see beach, I see parking number
It's
1. 1A I see. 1A, this is number 1, this is 1A. Okay. Okay, so there are 30, 1A, there are 30, 16 used, 14 unused. Okay.
Next is lot 1S.
Uh-huh.
There are 13 in total, 5 are taken, and 8 are available.
Okay.
The
So,
south side
so
of Beach
south side,
Road.
so this is 1N. It says here 1A, so it's 1A and 1. This is 1N, 1S. Okay. 1S is this part,
The south part.
the south. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, lot number 2 has 10 available spots, none are taken. So this,
next to the DPW.
Okay.
So there are 10 available, okay.
The car parked overnight, I think. It's always parked the cars overnight. We offered it.
We offered it to the gym in the 770 because they come at 4 o'clock in the morning. We offered them, they did not want it, so they keep getting tickets.
They would rather have the tickets?
It seems like.
That's ridiculous.
Are they paying it?
I'm sure they are.
They don't want to cross the street?
There's probably no traffic at the one.
We have,
Are there any parking that they can possibly rent on that side?
we offered them to
No,
allow.
on the other side, meaning on
Behind the shop?
behind.
There's,
That's
there's no
on-
parking in between
5.
7 and 8.
So you're talking about parking lot, you see, you were talking, just, this is number 2 that is evening.
correct.
Parking lot 5, are there anything available in parking lot 5?
Parking lot 5 has 1 spot available. There's a total of 19, so 18 have been taken.
So 19,
Which one is 5?
18, 1 is, 5 is the one behind the.
770?
Yeah, well, yeah. Across the street from the DPW. So there is one available, which
One
they
spot.
could take.
1.
How many do they need?
This is going back and forth with them for many, many years right now. They need, sometimes one person shows up, sometimes 4 people show up.
They came a year ago.
Yeah,
complaining
it's-
about
We
it.
offer them even to give the Middle Neck Road to allow overnight parking 3 to 6. So if somebody shows up at 4 o'clock, they don't even have to cross the street to just, put the sign that
Yeah.
overnight parking is available, and they're shutting it down. Maybe they called you even, you spoke to
I
them,
spoke
and
to
they
them.
hung up.
But we offered them that. What happened? We never.
They never followed up.
Okay. All right. So okay. Next is.
Lot 3,
Uh-huh.
58 total, 54 are taken, so there's 4 available.
And lot 4.
Lot 4, 7 are available and none are taken.
None are taken.
That's correct.
I'm sorry, is that the Steamboat, Lot 7?
Lot 4? No,
4.
lot 4 is
Everfresh.
Colony. Lot 4 is Colony.
None has been taken?
Nope, 7's
Are you talking about
Actually, no,
overnight
I'm sorry.
parking?
Lot
No,
4 is not
employee.
Colony. So sorry.
Everfresh.
Everfresh. Is that possible?
None are taken.
Ever? At Kent?
There's nothing there.
Right,
No
Everfresh
overnights.
parks across the street.
No overnights.
I didn't get, those numbers are different.
So this is employees.
This is employee.
Oh, the big one.
No, 4 is this one, so we don't have.
Oh, they're encouraged to go across the street,
Yes,
so then we should have none in four for employee parking.
we do not have.
We don't have anybody, so
Yeah.
there's only 7 open spots, 7 for 7.
And what about the one by Colony?
That's 6, right? Is that 6?
I don't have it in this.
Yes.
Yes, 6 has a total of 11 spots, 7 are taken or are available.
That's okay, it's not almost full.
Okay, and this is the commercial and residential
This is employee.
employee.
So the total number of spots are 148, a total of 100 are taken, and 48 are still available. That's a total.
Can you give me this spread, actually?
I can do this for you tomorrow, absolutely.
Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, very
And
good.
do you want,
Overnight parking as well? This was employee parking during the day.
So now I wanna know the residential, which is overnight.
Overnight,
So,
okay, so
I
we have
wanna
lot 1A or spot 1A.
You have that?
Sorry,
then
yeah,
you
I
wanna
did.
give it
I
tomorrow,
pulled it.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay,
I'm
so,
gonna type it up for you
the
tomorrow.
residential.
So we have 1A, it's only 1 spot that's taken,
How many are there?
just 1,
How many are available?
0, 1 taken, there's only 1 spot.
So there's only one available and
Yes.
taken?
Yes.
Okay, so 1A, available, used, unused, so you have 1, 0, okay?
Okay, then you have 1N, there are a total of 9 spots, 7 are taken, 2 are available.
Uh-huh.
Then you have 1S, there are a total of 22 spots, 12 are taken, 10 are available.
Do we know what businesses are taking the spots? Do we have any way of
I
This-
can
this is
pull it, I
residential,
can
though.
pull it and sort it by businesses,
For
yes, I can.
overnight, they talk about?
No,
the businesses.
Yes, I can do that.
And largest are Colson and Everfresh and
the
the
A&P.
jeweler
But
and the
it's
physical
funny that the
therapist.
Everfresh, why is they're not
They-
taking
they-
it, they go cross
they
because they
right.
want people to be able to.
Correct.
Okay, that makes sense.
They keep the,
They're good, okay.
Well, some also live in the village. I mean, I've seen them walk.
Would it be smart to eliminate the employee parking in the Everfresh lot altogether?
if there's nobody parking,
Yeah, there's nobody parking there. We
Is it is it disallowing people to park there?
disallow
because-
employees to park there.
And also shoppers,
only people with permit can park in that
and no
spot.
one's taking a permit out there.
So you see, if we
No,
do that, we're going to have an issue during the night, overnight, because the same parking spots are available for overnight parking.
But can you say that it's,
They're
because
just
if you're
available for overnight, but not
giving
for employees.
7, for example, I think to your point, if you're giving 7 to employees which aren't being used, it means those 7
Unavailable
are
overnight.
unavailable during the day. Also,
No,
be-
they're available.
No, nobody's
no one
taking
is
out
allowed to,
permits
if
in
you
that.
park there, you get a ticket.
Oh, it's 24/7 block.
No,
But those
I
are
mean,
the ones-
overnight they are taken.
Lot 4, 7 have spots,
Lot
nothing's taken.
4 has spots that if you park
Yeah,
in,
this doesn't
no.
make sense
There's no spots
because-
in lot 4 that if you, there's no sign that says if you park here, you get a ticket.
No, it
You'll
just
have to
says
go now, but-
7 PM
Yeah.
to 7
No, no, it's
AM.
okay.
No,
We
the
need to-
employee spots are open during,
No, no, I'm
Because
saying-
it's impossible
It
that
says
Everfresh is
can't- I
under,
mean, it
under,
can't be,
under
because
use.
it
It
says
can't be.
permit only.
So it might be that.
So it says
she has to-
permit
I don't
only.
remember
Check
where
it.
are those spots?
You know.
I don't know. I don't,
No,
I
it's
don't,
in the back, in other words, if.
by the wall, right?
Here.
Yeah, by the
But-
wall,
Is there a gate over
closer
there?
to,
Here, right here.
no, it's really over here.
But everybody parks there,
There's not many
Right,
lot
but there's
4.
a sign, cause someone
so
actually.
they're not
I-
giving tickets. I mean,
Well,
they
no,
shouldn't.
no, I was parking there.
There should
Can
be
we
shopper
get-
parking.
Right. Can we get rid of permitted parking during the day and just say permitted parking at night only?
Mayor, these are the spots that you see by the,
Yeah,
right there.
but they should be shopper parking.
These,
All the way
these,
at the end, by the wall.
right.
Right.
By the fence, not by
By
the
the
wall,
fence.
by the
Yeah,
fence.
During the day,
Wait,
people
see
park
where
there.
that sign is? There's like a.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nobody reads those signs.
Well, someone from out of town stopped me and they said, am I allowed to park here? I had to read it a few times. It was, I was looking at my watch and,
It should be, if employees are not parking there, you should take away the signs and allow shoppers to park there and have it for, for overnights.
It should say permitted parking nights only.
We could do that, however, if you look at the south side, there's a bagel hut and there is
Yeah,
the other
Are they using it?
businesses.
You mean they may not use it?
They are not, the employees are not using that. Employees are parking
in the CVS,
either in the
front CVS lot,
CVS parking
the
lot.
south CVS lot, which is not
and-
ours.
Correct.
it
The south lot.
And then people who go to Everfresh, they're not going to walk this far to park here. So even if you make it yeah.
But
I do.
Chosun people are going there.
For God's sakes, it's not even half a block. Well, maybe
Yeah.
not,
Well, I
but-
park
people-
here to go to Everfresh, but the people that were asking me were going to Chosun. That's why they were asking, because there was some event there that evening.
Right.
And they wanted to know. if
Okay.
We could change it if you'd like. What I can do is I can ask the parking enforcement to have the place under surveillance to see how underused it is and how many people actually park there and remain in
And
the
don't
car.
give tickets.
And don't give tickets, right? And then we could
Don't tell them to just have it under surveillance, and then as people start complaining, why are we getting tickets? There's no reason to give tickets in that area. I think people should be able to park there.
In shock, yeah.
Right. So we have 1S. You just told me.
On this is 22 total,
Right.
12 taken, 10 available.
Right.
Then we have
It's an
lot
advertisement.
2, 15 total.
Lot 2. Okay.
Yes. There's no spots taken, so 15 available.
that's next to the
Yeah.
DPW again.
Yeah,
That
no
lot
one-
is
no one's
very
using that
underused.
place.
On the second place.
God, no one uses that for anything. It's a
Correct.
waste of a property. Okay.
Then you have lot 3, which is a total of 14, and none are taken.
None are taken.
Nope, not one.
On 13, lot 3,
Lot 3, 14, total 14.
none taken.
That's correct.
That's odd. That's very close to the apartment buildings. That's behind CVS.
Right.
No one,
Because
no
It's
residential is
near-
using that place.
444
No,
is
it's not.
allowed to park on the street. In front of 444, there's overnight parking available. So people just park on the street, or they
Okay.
utilize
Okay.
their own parking.
And what about number 4?
Number 4 has 10 in total, 2 taken, so 8 are available.
Okay, and
Lot 6 is the last one for overnight. There's a total of 6.
lot 6?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, and
Lot 6 total of 6, 2 taken, 4 are available.
so, it's interesting because that Everfresh lot has 8 available. And the building that is going there has 10, and people from that building, right?
Less.
No, it has 10 parking.
10 overnight.
No, they have 10 parking spots
For the
10
building?
units.
I believe there's
7.
less.
They have 7 or they
7.
have 10?
They have 10 units.
They
10
have
units,
they
7
have
spots.
10. They don't have
10 units, 7
you
spots.
You sure 7? I thought
Yeah,
it
it
was
might
7.
even be 6.
No, it's not.
It might be 6 and 1 handicap. I'm not sure.
It is, yeah.
You're talking
So,
lot
but they
four?
have, huh?
Lot 4?
Lot 4, the new
Lot
building.
4. Right, the one,
The new building comes with 6 or 7 parking spots.
and they have 8, available.
But we have
Okay.
overnight spots for the other
Yeah,
residents.
right, they have 8.
Do
But
you
it's
want
not
the
being
totals,
used.
Mayor, or you don't need
Sorry?
the totals? Do you want the total for overnight, or no?
No, it's okay,
Okay.
I just wanted to
Okay.
know. Okay, great.
What is
Thank
not
you.
on the map, by the way, is a parking lot on the steamboat
Oh, yeah, that,
that we are
is-
receiving
that
$3,000
is
a
being,
month.
that is being granted though.
$3,000 a month.
Okay.
And
Good.
East Shore Road.
East Shore Road is
It sure is not
rented,
a parking lot.
right,
It
I
sort
mean,
of is.
total of $14,000.
How much?
14,000
A month.
a month.
That's great.
It depends on how many cars they park. The other day, actually, I drove there. They parked. They went over their quota, so they're going to be receiving an email from me requesting to increase the rent. That's their license agreement.
Okay.
Public comments?
Yes.
There's Linziger, 15 Beach Road. One thing I want to ask about is, how come in the last 2 weeks, the light in front of Village Hall at the bottom of the staircase at Baker Hill Road is still not working? It's out. I went to check. You were in touch with me. Do you know what
was.
the problem is?
Yes, I know. So you were discussing right here in the front
No.
as you go.
Down
the bottom
the
of the steps.
staircase.
He knows what you're talking about.
There's two. One of them is working. The other one is not working.
Correct.
There is a disconnect again with the wires because when they installed it, it's been such a long time.
Uh-huh.
The other day when the electrician was here, I discussed it with them. They said when they come with the 8-man crew, they will be looking into that as well as the clock at
The one at
across the
Beach
street.
Road in Middle Neck that I also.
I did not
wondered
forget
about.
about that, yes.
Well, I mean, I know that you, but you know, I almost fell down that staircase last time, and I just checked. I see it's still not working.
Even if I install a new light, it's
Abraham, I
just not
don't
working.
want you to do it, but I want the correct people to make sure
I-
that it's functioning.
It's in progress.
And I don't want to fall down the stairs
Of
or
course.
anybody else. Another question, is there anything new with the Colony Pharmacy robbery? It's now already about 6 weeks ago. Have Nassau County Police made an arrest or told you about any progress in that case?
Not that I've heard.
All right, I was curious about that. Then another question is, here you're discussing security and other things for new Village Hall. You've given out some contracts for consultants and all that. Is there a kind of a ballpark estimate for what the whole project is going to cost?
I don't have anything yet.
So we don't really know. I mean, you appropriated the $2 million in the budgets, but as to the total cost, you don't have that yet.
Nope.
All right. Yeah. Mr. Clerk, have you gotten a new deputy treasurer?
We interviewed another person today. I'm hoping between the three candidates that we have, one of them should be good fit for the village.
Good, because you need some assistance, and I hope you get the right person soon. I'm just curious about that. And I had one more question. Yeah, about the wait a second. Yeah, the H2M, the report on the flooding from last August storm. Last Monday, we had this torrential thunderstorm and flooding, and we also had some very heavy flooding the week before. Is there anything new on that, and is the village any closer to discussing with the residents and telling them what can be done in case we have another superstorm?
Right, so we met with H2M and with Nassau County. So now Nassau County wants to be involved because everything is connected. So
Sure.
we can go ahead and try to fix the problem in the village, but then eventually everything goes through Nassau County,
Right.
and the Nassau County is going to be the area that everything backs up, possibly. So they need to find out how this is going to work. They have different studies or different layers to say how much you can add to sort of be able to drain X amount of rain, let's say 10 year, 15 year, 20 year, 30 year, 50 year, 100 year. There's nothing that can be done that can prevent a 100 year or 50 year. I'm not even sure of a 20 year. And even a 10 year is going to be, they can possibly suggest something with minor damage to the homes. That's the preliminary. They're still working on it. Now they're working with Nassau County to see what else can be done. We are waiting for them to come up with more information, but so far the information they came up with is not sufficient for us to make any suggestions.
Okay, and in these two tremendous storms that we had, including the one that was last Monday, and then there was one more the week before, did the village come, or did people complain about basement?
I did not get any phone calls. Did you get any phone calls?
I did not get a phone call. I actually drove around on Warwick as well as Plymouth to make sure that all the drains are actually working. They were in the working order.
So we did. So I think one of the things that residents need to be aware of. There are certain things that Mother Nature does that we can't control. The rain, everybody agrees. The rain we had that caused that horrible flooding. If it occurs, even if you have everything tip top, it's still going to happen. Maybe not 5 feet, maybe 4 feet, but still going to happen. So I don't know if that could ever be prevented. We just have to see what are the things they can offer and what it's going to do, and if it's what's worth doing. Yeah.
Can I just add that one of the residents that has been here before, She's been acting like a spokesperson,
I know who
liaison
she
to
is.
everyone. Um, she reached out to me as well as to the county. I was in contact with the county legislator's office, and they contacted the commissioner of the DPW in the county. We are still waiting for an answer for that. H2M has suggested, if you remember when the board passed the contract, they also added a 6,000 for a study to be done to raise the houses. I requested her that she speaks to the residents to allow H2M to go into their houses and do the feasibility study, and she was adamant that nobody wants that.
All right. Well, I'm hoping that this could be, because I'm going to bet you we're going to have some more very heavy storms during this summer. And my concern is, the residents had that terrible problem. You engaged the engineer to take a look at it, but so far, you know, it's only a year later and nothing has happened. So I hope something does
Well,
happen.
I can't say that nothing has happened.
Well, it's been studied, but there's no been remediation.
And, you know, I hope there can be a remediation. There may not be able to be a remediation. First of all, as I mentioned, and I think H2M mentioned it, Nassau County mentioned it, no remediation is ever going to prevent that flooding from happening again. So that is given on the table, done. The question is, for lighter floodings, if adding more or doing significant construction is going to be able to significantly reduce damage to the homes, or even that is going to be very insignificant. So let's say if you're going to spend a ton of money and start ripping off all the streets and putting new pipes and everything else and making everything wider, if it's not going to really help significantly, what is a better thing to do? Raising the houses, or try that anyway without much of help? So I think that's something that we need to study further.
I don't know what the solution is either, but before this administration, there was, this is already going back nearly 20 years, the old Mill Road, Middle Neck Road intersection was remediated by the county. It used to flood there all the
Right.
time. It was like a whole river or lake, and that was remediated. So sometimes some things have happened. I don't have the solution for that problem, but I'm concerned that, and obviously if the residents had had problems, the room would be full.
David,
Right.
David, that intersection is also where all the pipes ultimately go through.
I know,
So even after that remediation, we still had the problem last year,
correct.
and nothing would have prevented that, I'm afraid.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, Gene.
Last time I was here, I had asked a couple of questions, but I wasn't really clear. I guess I didn't understand about the sister cities. Now, I understand we have 3 in Israel. When you go and you sign an agreement for sister cities, for Great Neck Village, is it just you, Mayor, or the whole board that agrees and signs the agreements?
Good question. So I sign and the board agrees. Like any other contract that we do, I sign with the board agreement. As I think Peter had mentioned, really there is no reason for the board to agree, but I would not like to do anything without the board approval. So that's the way it works.
So for the village of Great Neck as a whole, only you could make the decision of who we should have as sister cities, and the board doesn't have to. If
No,
you don't
no,
want to, the board doesn't have to agree. They don't know.
Well, not true that only me. I mean, if you have a city anywhere in the world that you want us to be friends with, I contact the person and I probably go there on my dime to make that happen. So do you have a place? Let me know.
And when you do decide on a city or village or whatever, you sign the agreement on your own, or does it have to be done through our legal counsel?
In-
you can answer.
Mayor, if it's all right, I'll express my legal opinion in
Right.
public. My opinion has been that the mayor can sign these agreements on his own, and the law does not require a Board of Trustees resolution. The mayor has indicated to me, however, that it is his intention to have the board approve or ratify any such agreement, and I believe he has thus far done so. But the agreements that have been shown to me, which the mayor has shown to me before he has signed them, indicate that the commitment is to express our goodwill and intentions to have friendly relationship between the people of this village and the people of the community on the other side of the world. So it does not bind the village to make any expense or to take any particular action. In fact, the agreements recite that the peoples of the two villages hope someday to engage in some joint enterprise, but that will have to be decided at that time and funded at that time, and that it'll be up to the respective bodies to make the decision as to whether they even want to do that.
When you say funded, what do you mean?
Well, for example, it could happen, it is not required by these agreements, but perhaps there'd be some exchange of literature or art or music or a symbolic sports, anything like that.
Visit by delegation.
A visit by a delegation. But none of that is required by the agreement. It is simply contemplated that, gee, it would be nice if that someday happened, but it won't happen, the agreements say, without the respective legislative bodies agreeing to that and authorizing the money.
And where would the money come from?
It will be decided at that time, Gene, but that has not come, and it doesn't make any difference at this time. But the money will come from
Again,
the place that the board votes it will come from.
the agreements do not require that any action take place. They simply express that the communities exchange goodwill gestures, and should there ever be a project that they work on together, at that time it would require an agreement and funding.
And I asked, where would the funding come from?
At the
Our
time,
village, of taxpayers, where would
It
it come
would
from?
to be determined. Someone could make a donation, there could be grant monies, it could be taxpayer monies. Since there's no project, there's no decision on that.
It could be the individual's private money, like when the mayor went, he spent his own money to go.
But if it was taxpayers' money, we would have to be notified, and whether we would approve of the project.
All of these things,
Okay,
anything we
so
spend
Gene, I
is
think one of the
public,
things,
you know
right.
that.
So one of,
Anything that's spent by the village is public knowledge.
But why would we spend, where would you get the money from if it was?
You're talking
funded
about money
from-
that doesn't, this is not, this is moot.
Well, I like to look
It's
ahead.
moot. It's
you know,
absolutely, nobody's
let me ask you,
proposing it.
Gene, let me ask you a question. Did you vote on the budget today, on what was passed? Did you vote?
What budget?
Well, we had all the, what? The abstract. Did you vote on it?
Quite honestly, I couldn't really hear them.
No, but did you see them? Did you vote on them?
You mean, did I look up here and vote
It's
tonight?
public. Have you looked at it? The
budget,
abstract,
the
listen.
The June budget?
The abstract. Have you looked at the abstract?
When do I get to see them?
It's on
Public record.
it's on the record. You can look at it anytime you want. Have you looked at it? No. Have you ever voted on it, Gene? Have you voted
I
on
didn't
it?
know you could vote on the abstract.
You can't.
I
The
thought
board
Annie
votes
was in
on it.
charge of
So
that.
you're asking a question. It's like, does the public vote on it? Have you voted, or any other member of the
You see,
public
you have
vote?
a way of
No, but I'm
going
trying to
into
explain
something
you.
else
No, but
and-
no, it's the same thing. Anything the board does, any expense, if it's going to, for example, today we discussed travel expense for DPW, right? We are voting on to approve the expense in public because it's a public knowledge, right? So if I ever decide to go anywhere and the public has to pay for it, it's going to be discussed in public and get approved by the board. Not by public, by the board. That's why we elect a board. The board elects, the people elect the board, and the board makes a decision. I think that is very clear. It has been the same way for, since the United States became a country.
Well, I'm a little concerned when we have three agreements already with one country. One of them, Herzliya, isn't signed by you. So does that make that legal?
Who-
Shouldn't it be signed? The so-called agreement with Herzliya citizens? That's
Wouldn't-
not signed.
I think they have, I have to
The
get, do
second
we
one
have,
is signed.
we have, you don't have the, you don't have the thing? They probably, right. Oh, okay, all right,
But there is a sign.
Doesn't mean that it was not signed,
Right.
I just couldn't find the signed copy.
all right.
And one of the others, it says as of something about the date, that's why I'm concerned whether it should be done through our legal department, these agreements.
They are, as I indicated.
Well, one of them's not dated, so if the agreement is as
Well,
of the date,
I
it's signed and it's not dated.
As with all
that's-
contracts, I review them before they are signed and dated. Before they are signed and dated. And then I indicate to the mayor whether I think there's any legal problem with them. And in these cases, I have said to him, I don't see any legal problem.
Well, shouldn't it be dated?
Once it's signed, it should probably be dated,
Well,
yes.
one of them is signed, I forget which one of the cities, I think.
But
what
that,
was
again,
begin with an E?
Jeannie, just so you understand, it's not, it's, the document doesn't promise anything except the exchange of goodwill. And therefore, whether it's signed or unsigned or dated or undated, it really has no legal difference because the document doesn't commit anyone to do anything. It's simply an expression of an intention to have goodwill towards each other.
And also funding if there's a project that's.
No, God.
Well, again, Jeannie, I'm
you
sorry
don't-
I
you don't know, do you?
even reference that because, you know, the village could enter into a contract with any other entity to do anything, anytime in the future. Should it do so, there would have to be funding. So it's the same thing. If the village ever decided to do a project with some other city, one for whom we have a sister city or not, if there were ever such a project, and if it cost money, then yes, there would have to be a decision as to where to get the funds. But these agreements don't require any project, they don't require any funding. They're not,
As of now, right.
well, there would have to be a new agreement in order to have a project and funding. These agreements by themselves would not be enough.
And it would be at a public meeting.
It would be presented to the public.
Do you have any
It
cities
would
you want to
not-
make sister cities with?
No, but you just said Morocco, I have been there, it's a very nice place. Which city did you decide on there?
Dakhla.
Okay. Why?
They approached, and I thought it's an interesting place. It's the gateway to Africa.
I know.
So, you have any issues with that?
I just want to make sure that this village is taken care of first, quite honestly. And I
Alright.
think any money if any money was used for a project to build something in another country, first let's get this village in
But
order.
I don't
We are
understand-
not authorized to spend any village money in another country, to build another country. Do you understand? Will never be authorized. We're absolutely barred from doing that.
Yeah, but you
Nobody
just
has
said
that
if
intention.
there's a project that needs funding, maybe they want to build
Oh.
a school, or I think last time you mentioned you'd like a hospital.
Yeah, we're not allowed to do that, but, okay.
So there would be nothing taken maybe out of our community fund here, our
Nope.
village community fund?
Nope,
That stays
Cannot.
safe for us?
we cannot.
Okay, thank you.
Nobody's intention.
Any other comments? Yes.
Can I start?
Of course. Just state your name and address, and then you can.
Daron Usmani, 30 Plymouth Road. Greetings, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, and Trustees. I'm a current student at John L. Miller, Great Neck North High School. I commend Mayor Brawl for creating the sisterhood between our village and the villages Mayor Brawl created and aligns within Israel. In North High, we have a club called JSU, which stands for Jewish Student Union.
Slow down.
Jewish Student Union. On behalf of the officers of JSU and club advisors, we would like to have you, Mayor Brawl, and of course trustees and any other local officials to discuss the Sister City Alliance. In JSU, we embrace our heritage and freedom of religion in this country. We also have discussions and presentations about anti-Semitism and the Holocaust. For example, we have had a Holocaust presentation from the Yad Vashem Holocaust Center in Israel. We also have a program called Names Not Numbers, where Holocaust survivors come to our school, and we are the cameramen, recorders, and interviewers. We are the ones operating the cameras and microphones and interviewing the Holocaust survivors, and we created documentation to say no to Holocaust denial and keep the legacy of the survivors alive. Providing JSU's credibility, we would love to have you as a guest in JSU, and thanks for allowing me to address the board tonight. I'll be in contact with you all regarding our meeting dates to come and discuss.
All right. So thank you for the invitation. I would love to. I'm sure the board would like to as well attend. Just one comment. Slow down.
Yeah.
I think it's great that students come in. I would love to see more young people come and address. And I think it's good for you to be involved. So yeah, let me know when it is, and hopefully we can arrange something.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Good luck. Good night.
What was his address?
What was your address again? 30
Thank
Plymouth
you.
Road. Okay. Any other comments? I see a young gentleman over there. Just listening? Okay. Are you from our village? Yes. Okay, very nice.
Welcome.
Welcome. No other comments? Hearing none.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Wow, early night.
Moved by trustee Hope,
Okay.
seconded by trustee Cashy. All in favor say aye. The ayes have
Aye.
it unanimously.
I abstain.